I'm going to show you how easy it is to build a web page using Google Antigravity. All right, so bear with me and let's do it. All right, so here we have Antigravity. So now for this demo, I've already gone ahead and created an empty folder, which is just going to be a workspace that we're going to use to actually build the website as soon as I find it. It's in here in developer. Antigravity website demo, no items. They'll come in here and you can actually see completely blank folder. We're going to open that puppy up. Now, while this is loading, if you don't know what Google Antigravity is, it's basically an integrated development environment, which is basically a tool that connects a bunch of different things together so that you can develop things. And it uses basically vibe coding. It uses AI to help you code whatever it is you want. So you can literally put in a description of what it is you want to build, and it will build it. And it can be anything from a web page to I have built an Xcode app in a couple of days. I mean, anything, whatever you can imagine. So if you think like Replit, which is online only, right? You can build web apps with Replit. But the nice thing about Antigravity is that you can actually utilize your terminal. So like if you think the matrix and all those characters moving up, right? That's terminal. So in terminal, it gives you a lot more power over what you can do on the computer. We'll see if it comes up as I show this demo, depending what the AI says. So let's pretend we are going to create a website. We're going to create, oh, I don't know. Let's say a health and fitness. So create a health and fitness website. We'll say for men and women in their, if I can spell, in their mid-30s. And then we'll say that I will be offering a coaching service to these individuals to help them eat and exercise better. All right. And then we'll say use, or I don't know, use imagery and colors that resonate with this audience. That's all. That's all I'm going to tell it to do. We're going to go ahead and have it execute. It's going to go. All right. So right now it's thinking. A lot of that you can't see because unfortunately my head is blocking some of that. But you can see it's going. Everything over here on the right here. It's what it's doing. It's what it's thinking. Tells you. And what it's going to do is it's actually going to create a kind of a document over on what it's going to do. It'll start with a to-do list, and then from that to-do list, it'll then create an actual document on what the implementation plan is, for that you can then review. So boom. So here it is. Here's the implementation plan, right? Gives you the goal, what it was you described, who the target audience is, basically everything I stated, but it just goes into a little more detail on what it's going to do. Here it has the color palette. Here it has what, what kind of fonts and everything it's going to use, what it's going to do in the different sections. So anyway, I won't go through all this, but you can pause the screen, skim it. But I'm going to go ahead and tell this to go ahead and build this. This looks great, so go forward with it. So now it's going to go ahead and build it. So now if you are interested in Google Antigravity, you can actually get it at antigravity.google. That is the website to download it. Download it, install it, it's free. All right, take a look at this. So because I asked for some imagery and stuff, it's actually generating an image using, what is it, Nano Banana, which Google owns. So that's pretty cool. So it's actually going to generate the image for me. And by the way, once this is all done, right, we can actually look at it, and if I wanted to change something in the image, I could. So that's pretty sweet. Ooh, look at that. That looks yummy. And so yeah, so this is pretty much what it's going to be doing. So this might take, a couple of minutes for it to get through there. Look at that. Dude, that's pretty cool. It literally just generated an image of a person working out. All right, now I'm very curious to see how it's putting this all together. Very, very curious. But anyway, so if you haven't heard or gotten into vibe coding, I highly recommend it, especially if you actually have already an engineering background or you're interested in engineering, just because it makes the experience so much better. The pain in the butt of being an engineer or trying to work with software is always going through and trying to find and debug it. But this pretty much handles all that for you, right? So you just look over it, make sure it's correct, and if it's not correct or there is a bug in it, you can literally take a screenshot, give it to the AI, tell it what's going on, and it will go ahead and fix it for you. I mean, it just saves so much time, so much time. Most of engineering, that's what your time is going to be spent with. It's the initial thinking it through, you write the code, and then the rest of everything you're doing is figuring out why it's not working the way you're intending it to work. And this just takes all that out, which is fantastic. So here it is. It's now reached a point where it needs to execute it. It wants to execute a command. So again, I mentioned the terminal earlier. So it's wanting to execute a command there where basically what's it going to do? It looks like it's going to copy some things and make a directory. So basically it's making folders where it's going to put the images and all that stuff. So we're going to go ahead and accept that. Now anytime it executes any of these kinds of commands, you do want to, of course, look it over and make sure it's what you want so that you don't do something crazy like wipe out your entire hard drive. That would suck. And then boom, and now it's opening the website and testing it, and I'll see if I can show that now. There. This is what it built. And it's going through and checking it out. It's literally looking over its work. This is fascinating. You don't even have to go through and it's literally going through its own test cases. It's like looking over and making sure that its own work is correct. If it weren't, it would go ahead and correct it and fix it. Now I can tell you right now, these colors are not working for me. This looks frankly terrible. But considering all I did is give it a paragraph, it's not bad. All right, so it's telling me it needs my input. So if we go over here to the right, scroll down a little bit. So what is it wanting? So it's asking for confirmation to execute some steps on looking at the web page. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and confirm it. It's going to continue. Now I'm not seeing where the images it generated went, so I'm not sure what's happening with that. But it's still going, so we'll find out. And again, all this is happening right now. I'm just letting it do its thing. So already right now, for example, some of these buttons we probably need to confirm that they actually do something. I don't know if it's going to do that or not. Anything that's contact me or contact whatever is probably going to have to actually put some kind of contact information in there. Most likely it'll be a button that doesn't go anywhere. Right, so it's not like you don't have anything to do. But again, the simplicity of what you're doing, you can literally just tell it to add these things or where to go, and it'll do that for you. And I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. Still going. It's going over the page, looking over the elements. It says right here, performance. It's run into an error. All right, so what is it? Let's see what it's doing. Still going. Still going. Now it's checking different size windows. I mean, it didn't specify that it should be mobile optimized or that it should be, work in any size, but it's doing it for me. I probably would, even though I can see that it's already checking that, I probably would still go ahead and very much specify and make it mobile first. But I do like that it's going ahead and making a responsive design. It's checking for responsibility. Is that a word? Is that a word? Did I just make that up? Might have. Whoa, I just went full screen. Look at this. it is telling me that it needs my input. So we will check that again and see what's going on. Okay, so what's happening? Windows security, yep. We're going to go ahead and confirm that. It's going to keep doing its thing. So that's pretty cool. So as it continues doing its thing, I actually went in and used Gemini to do a whole bunch of research on what kinds of things would are businesses interested in a certain demographic. Like I really wanted to figure out like who is using AI, what kind of help do they need, and everything. And I used that to help nail down a particular business category. And I built an entire website on that, and I'll show that at the end. But first, I just want to finish this demo. Okay, so just wanted to execute some more steps. Yep. It's basically trying to run some JavaScript. We'll take it. But look at this. I mean, come on. All right, so needing my input again. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead. And by the way, if you wanted, you could set all this stuff to just auto approve. I don't. I do like to look over its work, so to speak, make sure that it's doing the things I want it to do. I'll shrink this down though because now it's hiding me, and you can't see me. But anyway, you get the gist. So now it's running through tests. It's going through. We're gonna hide this real quick. Yeah, you can see here on the right hand side what it's doing every step of the way. Now it's creating the walkthrough, which means it's almost done. All right, we're gonna accept this. All right, so now it's creating the walkthrough. So here's the walkthrough. So let's see what it's done. So visual identity and assets, created imagery. Of course, we didn't see any of them anywhere. So what happened to that? But look at this. It creates what it tells you what it did. It's generating a recording, so you can actually review the recording if you wanted. We didn't need to do that because we just saw it do it live. But now it's saying, you know, I got to replace the copy. So the text on the page, obviously it completely made up. I didn't give it any guidance on that. So it's wanting me to update that. Background. Yeah, so this is what I was telling you earlier. So like connect the contact form to an email service or CRM. So like, you know, none of the contact details are connected to anything. It's not going to go anywhere. The form's not going to submit to anywhere because none of that's been connected yet. I haven't told it where to go or what to do for that. And then social proof, add testimonials. So, I mean, come on. So let's see if I can load this up and then look over it and see if there's anything that we need to fix, which I already know there is. I'll shrink this down so you can actually see me. There we go. Okay. So right off the bat, we knew earlier it created some images. Those images do not appear to actually be here, right? It created some food items and it created a woman that was working out. So let's fix that. So I'm going to go ahead and tell the AI, hey, the website appears to be missing the images you generated earlier. Can we add them? Boom. All right, so now it's thinking about it. All right, now it's checking for the assets. I'll go ahead and hide this while it does this. All right, here we go. What is it saying? Yeah, so it wants to move the images. Okay, great. Yeah, do that. I'll see if I can make this bigger so it's easier for you to see. Boom. And now it's added the images. So I will open this guy up so you can see it. That's what it just did. Now you see that it's kind of highlighted here in blue. That's how you know that it has control of it right now. It's doing things with it. But isn't that awesome? It went ahead and added in the images. Now you can get really, really pretty crazy with this. Like I could actually tell it, I could say that I want more images with this woman doing something else working out. I type that in the box and it will go ahead and take that image, go to, what is it, Nano Banana, and create another image with that same woman, whatever it is I described, and create a whole new image with it. And if you really want to get complicated, you could even take the images it's generating for that, and I'll show you an example of how I did this. But you can actually take that image and then feed it into Google Flow and generate a video, and then use the video. And I'll show you that in just a moment. I mean, come on, this is pretty freaking cool. Now it's saying it needs input. Let's take a look and see what it's wanting. Looks like some more JavaScript. Yeah, go for it. But anyway, you can see that even though you don't need to know programming to do this, but obviously it's extremely helpful because then you can see what it's doing, you know what it's doing, you can look over things, and it gets even better because then you could, for example, I could open up, you know, if there's some little tweak I wanted to make, I could open up the file, make that tweak, that kind of thing in the code, which you can't see because I totally hit it. Here we go. There. Oh. There we go. Right, so like you can actually come into the code file itself and make modifications and just tweak it, because you know sometimes that's faster than actually just telling it, hey, I want this particular sentence located here or whatever. We're going to go ahead and confirm what it wants here. So it's like having an understanding of web development or programming if you're doing something like Xcode will be a huge benefit to you, but it's not necessary. Like when I wrote the app, when I used this to create the app, I mean, I literally didn't write a single line of code. I just described everything that I wanted. I spent more time setting up Xcode and getting it to connect correctly to the Apple development services than I did the actual creating the app. So, I mean, it's just crazy. Yeah, confirm that. So just so, because you can't see it, but here it's still going through its test and it's asking me to confirm things as it goes through the test. And so look at that. It says, I apologize for the oversight. The images were missing because the generated files had timestamp suffixes. So basically it added timestamps at the end of it and didn't match the clean file names in your HTML code. So basically it added some information at the end of the file name, and then when it wrote the code, it didn't add that same information into the code for the page. So the page basically didn't have the correct link to the file. And so the image didn't load. That's what happened there. Okay, cool. So I've just accepted everything that it's just done. All right, so now let's take a look at this page, and boom, there you go. It made it, you know, I could go ahead and change the name. I could have it create an icon, but I mean, it literally just made a site for me. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, come on. Now, obviously, so this doesn't connect to anything. That's what it warned us about earlier. So, you know, we'd have to, oh, look at this. And by the way, if you want to change any of this, you could literally take a screenshot of this, right, and tell it that you wanted to have a different menu option, things like that. Like it's crazy what you can do with this. I don't know if Start Now does anything, but it takes you here. Okay, cool. All right, so there you go. So that's a rough example. Now I don't like this color. I would personally, you know, I would work on this to tweak it, make it more pretty. But still, you have to admit that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's wild. And that's it. That's the simplicity of what you're doing. So now I'll show you something I built using this actual website I built. You can actually go to it. But check this out. It's called BossInBalance.com. If I can, we'll hide this, we'll hide this. All right, here, we'll start again. There we go. Okay, BossInBalance.com. So this was entirely done using vibe coding and AI. This entire website. So that video you just saw was an AI video. The woman does not exist. That whole scene did not exist. This background here does not exist. So check it out. Check it out. So the services I offer here are real. This is real. And I did go in and update all the wording and everything. So that's me. But I used AI to help do the research, the planning, the validation. Validation meaning like, here's what I want to do. Here's the audience I think I'm targeting. Does it make sense? Go, rip this thing to pieces, scour the internet, Google, scour your data, and tell me, you know what I mean? Does the data you have actually match what I'm trying to do? Will it fit? And it did, right? But it took iterations of that to get that correct. So anyway, there you go. That's anti-gravity in a very quick, brief nutshell. It's a fully integrated development environment. So if you wanted, right now it's using Gemini as the backend. I could change it to Claude. I could change it to any of the other models. It's powerful. It's insanely powerful. So anyway, so there you go. If you found this valuable, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, share it with some friends, whatever. But yeah, and leave a comment. Let me know. What'd you think? Did I get something wrong? Did I say something wrong? Let me know. Rip it apart. And until next time.